turn to a man who is always outraged.
That's an outrage. Here is Tony Bruno.
Hello there, kids. We are live on a Wednesday night all over the world. Thank you for joining us. You know, I did that long,
Yeah, I like that.
Waiting for the microphone.
You know what that was.
We're here at the Comedy Sports Philly, at CSC Philly, where every Saturday night they have great improv here. Now, you were here for the improv show, right?
Before we started our
Exactly.
premiere.
It's a great... They've been here 23 years, Comedy Sports Philadelphia, the longest-running comedy show in Philly, right here in this beautiful little theater here where we do the show every week on Sansom Street in Center City, Philadelphia. They have Comedy Sports, and it's not about sports.
No.
It's basically two teams of improv, and they have a scoreboard, and they keep track, and it's fun. It's a
Audience
great
gets
night
involved
out.
and everything.
It's a fun night out. If you love improv, you got to come out here on a Saturday night. They do two shows every Saturday night here at Comedy
It's
Sports.
called short form improv, just like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Exactly, and they're phenomenally talented people. In fact, we're going to be in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, and we are going to do our Monday podcast on February 1st. That Monday night, we will be doing it from Comedy Sports San Jose.
Oh, San Jose.
Yeah, they have a
okay.
movie theater there, which is a small movie theater, and they do it out there. So we're going to do it from Comedy Sports San Jose, and we're going to do a bunch of podcasts on Super Bowl week. You'll be able to hear them live, of course, and also on iTunes and SoundCloud, where everybody listens to the show. And I don't know if Nathaniel said he may make a trip out to do some video work.
Oh, nice.
You're going to come out to the Bay Area and hang?
I'm trying.
All right. If not, we're going to bring our GoPro. We'll be doing daily vlogs.
Nice.
You know what a vlog is,
Yeah,
right?
vlogs. Yeah, video blogs. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what vlogs
My
are.
daughter taught me that because she watches a couple on YouTube.
So we'll be on
Some
Radio
way
Row.
out.
So we're going to try to do some live. We'll do some periscoping, and all the big athletes come by. Everybody's pimping something on Radio Row.
right.
So Robin and I will be.
There's so much to see.
I know. We'll be showing everybody the behind-the-scenes Radio Row stuff that you
Nice.
don't normally see when. And let's be honest, here in Philadelphia, there will not be one radio show or one blog
That's traveling
that will
there?
be live from the Super Bowl city.
So you'll be the local
We
connection.
will be the eyes, ears, nose, and throats
Nice.
of Philadelphia
Got
sports.
every body part covered.
And we give we'll give you the national flavor, and obviously the Eagles aren't going to be there.
No, they're not.
So we always plan a trip in September. So you get
Right.
the best airfare, you get the hotels
Yes.
all booked. I used to do that every year when the Eagles were good during the Donovan McNabb era. And then I would book for my sons to come out. And every year they came out, the Eagles would lose in the
Would lose.
championship game.
Right.
So I took them to Houston, and then I took them to San Diego, and then I took them to Detroit. I took them to everywhere. San Diego. Where else was a Super Bowl? I didn't take them to Jacksonville, though, the only time they went.
Yeah.
You took him to Texas somewhere, right?
I took them to Houston. That was one of the
Houston.
Super Bowls the Eagles were supposed to be in.
Right.
The one in San Diego they were supposed to be in.
And then in Florida,
And then in Tampa. And then, of course, I took my oldest son, AJ, to the Super Bowl in New Orleans, though.
Oh.
The Eagles were not the one the Eagles were in. He wasn't even born yet.
Now,
No,
how
1980.
old was he when he went to New Orleans?
I took him. He was 20. No, he was 20. And I got him in his first bar at 20. So I
Nice.
took him to the old Absinthe House on Bourbon Street. Have you been there?
No.
It's a great place. And he had his first absinthe, which is fake. Now everything's real. Now you can buy absinthe anywhere. Back then you had to go in the back room.
Oh,
If you want
okay.
absinthe, got to take in the back room. We're not allowed to pour that out front. So you go in the back room and they get the sugar cube and the whole
Right.
bit.
Now it's all out in the open.
Yeah, now you can drink it. You can buy it at the
buy like a craft beer
But
store.
I don't think they make it with wormwood anymore, though. I mean, that was the whole point. The wormwood, because of the worms, were the ones that caused the hallucinogenic properties of it. Yeah.
Wormwood?
Yeah, there was.
Wasn't that a show on HBO?
I think so,
that
yeah.
was
That was Deadwood.
And
Yeah.
they're bringing that back.
Yeah. Making a movie, I think.
Meanwhile, we got a good crowd here tonight, and they're being fed, and they bring their own stuff. We have our buddy Ken Cage is here from Airplane Repo, and he has his own brew out there at the Aston, the 2SP Brewing Company out in Aston, Delaware County.
Great place.
We did a podcast
Yeah.
from the parking lot there in the summer.
It was the tail end of the summer.
That was the season finale.
Beautiful night, yeah.
Season finale of Airplane Repo. What a great night that was.
It was.
Ken
Awesome.
Cage,
Good
the whole
weather.
gang, and the brewery's right there. And he has his own beer called Yahtzee, which
Nice.
is what Ken says whenever he repos a high-end
right.
acid. If you've ever
Right.
seen the show Airplane Repo on Discovery Channel, Ken Cage, he's here tonight. We're going to bring him up. He's going to pour some Yahtzee. But we have a special show tonight. We're going to talk some football. We have a couple special guests. Ken's going to come up. But we got to thank the people who are feeding us tonight.
Yes.
We've been very fortunate. I got to thank Luigi Curto, by the way, the man up there behind the God mic who helped put this all together. He's the one who does all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And he went out to the folks out there in one of the hottest neighborhoods in Philly is Fishtown.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be a bad neighborhood. Now it's a great neighborhood.
Right, now it's awesome.
The neighborhoods I used to live in were great. Then they became bad. Now all
we're
the
going
bad
the opposite
neighborhoods
direction. Yeah.
are good. And Fishtown's a hot neighborhood.
It
Up
is.
there, Frankfurt and Girard. You've been up there. There's Frankfurt Hall, which is a great
Oh, it's
Steven
great
Starr
there, yeah.
restaurant. And then right next door, there's a little place called Feta Sal. It's been there for 3 years. Feta Sal sounds good. But what it means, actually, in French, does anybody know the pronunciation of feta, F-E-T-T-E-S-A-U? What does it mean? Fat pig is correct.
Ah.
But no one wants to call their restaurant Fat Pig. It's like Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday.
Right, Fat
But
Tuesday.
Mardi Gras sounds better. Unless you go to Fat
Carnival.
Tuesday and you get drunk and you go to one of the bars, like on
Yes.
South Street and the
Right,
Fat
yeah.
Tuesdays.
But
and
honestly, everything sounds better in either French or
Italian.
Italian.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Those are the two languages that it doesn't matter what you say. You're
Right.
like, oh,
Exactly.
The languages of love. Yeah.
sexy.
Exactly. I'm on a 1,200 calorie a day diet. I started
I
on
know.
Monday.
So you really didn't need this tonight.
Well, I need it because it's so good. So we go out Saturday. Robin and I go out Saturday night. We go to this Hair of the Dog,
Right.
which is a great big party.
Saw the
every year.
pictures, yes.
It's phenomenal. It's a crazy party. I mean, everybody's there. It's you want to talk about just checking people
It's a
out.
who's who.
It's not even a who's who. There weren't many who's there.
All right.
I was one of the few who's.
Cindy Lou Who is here.
Cindy
She's in
Lou
the
Who
front row,
wasn't
yeah.
there. And so there were a lot of people taking pictures, and it's fun, and it's nice to see people that recognize you, and you go up, you take pictures, you have a
Right.
couple cocktails. So everybody's there, and they have women on stilts and scantily clad
okay.
women, great bands. They have like
They had
15 rooms.
women painted in animal print.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was not there last year.
Nice.
No,
and
but
I
they
tried to
always have
follow
crazy-
them, and they disappeared.
They have a lot of bands. They had
I wanted to
Go-Go
get a picture of
Gadget.
them.
You're familiar with Go-Go
Yeah,
Gadget, a
yeah.
local band. They're really good. They got DJs. It's really a fun night. And Robin and I were there, so I got my tuxedo out, and I couldn't put my tuxedo pants. Took it out of the cleaners, and I couldn't button my tuxedo.
That's when you know.
That's when you know something has gone
There's
terribly.
something's amiss.
Terribly. You know what it's called? Living in Philadelphia in the winter. That's what it's called. Because when I lived in California for 11
Never
years,
had that problem,
I
right?
never had that. I wore the same pants, and I'm not going to buy a bigger pair of pants.
Right, you refuse.
I'm going to maintain my 34-inch waist that I've had.
You're not going to give in.
40. I've been wearing a size 34 pants for 40 years.
Wow.
Before that, it was a 32, and then I
Right.
got married and went up to a 34.
Right.
Don't worry about that, Robin. I know what I'm doing here. Worry about your damn YouTube.
Tony, the reason I'm doing that is because every time you turn to talk to Joe,
I'm on mic. I can hear myself. I've done this before. Sheepers. So anyway, where was I?
About your waistline.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put the tuxedo pants. I had to wear a different pair of pants.
Right,
That
right.
fit me. I had to wear a looser pair of pants, not even the matching my tuxedo.
we almost did not go.
So I
Because
said,
you're so
seriously,
aggravated.
Oh,
about
yeah.
I
it.
was ready to say, screw it, I'm not
Right,
going.
I'm not going, right.
So then I said, here's the thing. Monday morning, I'm starting a diet.
That's
and I'm
it.
looking online for, like, how to lose a pound a day, right? And I know you can go into, like, sauna bath. These fighters have to lose 5 pounds in one day to make weight.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not going to do that crazy stuff because I work every day. I go to my mom's. I'm doing demo in her house. I'm bringing down 500-pound radiators down steps. Did you
Right.
see that Periscope
Yes,
the other day?
yes.
So I'm doing physical labor.
Heavy duty.
I'm not just sitting around on the internet all day like Robin does. I don't want to mention any names, but I can't sit around all day. I sit around and I get up and I get
She's sitting around here on the internet.
I
it
can't
doesn't-
even
it
sit
never
down
ends.
here for 2 hours.
Exactly.
So anyway,
I sit down, I get up again.
so Monday morning I get up and I'm like, I'm going to do 1,000 calories a day. And I figured out 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. Everybody knows that, right?
Don't get
So
the calculator.
obviously you're not going to lose 3,500 because you have to have at least 1,200 calories, they say, and it's got to be good calories,
Yeah, not
so you
bad
don't
calories.
wreck your body. I've been doing less than 1,000 calories a day for the last 2 days until today.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, I thought I was going to be tired, weak in the afternoon. Not at all. I'm
Not at
not
all.
doing any sugar. I'm not
Right.
doing any bread stuffs, and I feel great.
That's good.
I'm not saying they tell you not to do that because 1,000 calories a day is unsafe. But I don't want to lose 50 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds in like 12,
Right, you're not going
13
crazy.
days.
Yeah.
And see, here's the problem. Like, if I had tried to do that, I would have gained weight doing what he's doing.
So I
Right.
weighed 211 on Saturday night.
It's so unfair.
This morning when I woke up, I was down to 204.
Nice.
Let me
Well
give
done.
myself a roaring round of applause.
Excellent.
How is that fair?
That's only 1 pound in dog years, though. That's the only thing.
No, it's only 1 pound in dog. Tonight when I go home, I'll be back up to 211
Exactly.
after
After
eating
this.
all the burnt ends. And the other hires, of course, the one I think was a great guy to keep was Dave Thipp, the special teams coach. Because the Eagles special teams
are
were
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they kept Dave Thipp their special teams coach,
Yeah, that
which
would
was
be
great
stupid
to
to
be
let him
able to
go.
keep
Right.
him. And it's funny because he wasn't supposed to be announced until his team lost, but they already had a couple of coaches already
Yeah, already in,
taken care of, and they
yes.
hired Frank Reich as the offensive coordinator. And our buddies here, Ken Cage's buddies, his business partner, he knew Frank. Do you know what Frank Reich?
The comeback.
Not one comeback.
Oh, didn't he have one in college?
He was responsible. The second one has now been surpassed. Mm-hmm. But the one in college, he was playing at the University of Maryland, the quarterback, Frank Reich, and he came back from, 35 points down? Yes. Both were 35-point deficits. Frank Reich was the quarterback for the University of Maryland. Who was the team he was playing? The Miami Hurricanes. Comes back and beats them. Mm-hmm. Goes to the pros, is with the Buffalo Bills. They're down 35 to the Houston Oilers at the time.
Yep.
Back when they were the Houston Oilers.
Warren Moon?
I think Warren Moon was the quarterback. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he leads them to a comeback, which at the time was the greatest comeback in NFL history. It has now been surpassed, right? Who came back from more than 35? And that wasn't that long ago. I remember Frank Reich's like yesterday, but I don't remember who did it and came back from 35 down. But anyway, he's the offensive coordinator. So he's a former quarterback. Doug Peterson's a former quarterback. And so they've got a bunch of guys who know offense that they're keeping on the staff. Pat Shurmur is out, obviously.
Yes.
And now the rumors are he's taking the St. Louis, now Los Angeles Rams job. He's going back to the Rams, where he either is going to be the offensive coordinator or quarterback's coach. I'm hearing it's offensive coordinator. And another guy who was a former quarterback and a quarterback coach is John DeFilippo. John DeFilippo was the offensive coordinator in Cleveland for Johnny Manziel. He's now the new Eagles quarterback coach. So they're hiring guys who know offense, which is good because Chip Kelly knew offense, and they hired Jim Schwartz. And as you know, the Schwartz is strong.
That's right.
And
Schwartz
so you got to never underestimate the power of the Schwartz. I guess you people didn't see Spaceballs, eh? Come on, Katie, you didn't see Spaceballs? Oh,
Jeez.
man. Let's bring Gina on up here. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Gina Gannon. With wine.
Yeah.
Bearing gifts.
No, actually, switch places.
Let's have Natalie plug you in, so to speak. And now, one of the things I got to say about Gina personally is because my mom, I was in L.A., and Robin and I would come back when we got to meet you. And my mom lived in South Philly. And then whenever there'd be snow or something, I'd always worry about my mom. You know, she'd be stuck in her house. And Gina would always say, I can go and bring your mom some food if you want. She was so nice. She would actually volunteer to go see if my mom was okay, even though my sisters were in town. But she knew where my mom lived. My mom would come out to Tony Luke's whenever we would do remotes.
It was awesome.
And my mom would hang out with us. And Gina was so nice to my mom. And she's still going strong at 91 and a half now.
I'm so glad to hear that.
God
I
bless
think I brought her cannolis from Ms. Gross once.
Yes,
So.
Now, this is another observation. So you, kind of like Tony, having been born and bred here in Philadelphia,
Yes.
you, because you do not speak the same way you did several years ago.
No, I actually took classes to lose my Philly accent.
I knew that.
See, that's what a
thank
lot of
you.
people don't do. When I did it, when I got back into the business, we're talking back in the late 60s, one of the first things I learned was get rid of the Philly accent. You want to sound like a classic broadcaster.
Yes,
because back then, you wanted to be in the business. You don't have to have a big booming voice, but the whole thing was to sound like, not to have people know where you're from.
Exactly.
It was the classic Midwest no accent.
That's right. I wanted
Nobody
to be
knows.
on a national level where nobody
Exactly.
said, oh, she's from Philly. And that's what I was getting all the time.
Now, have you been able to travel more already, or is this Japan gig
Well, this is the
beginning?
first time for Japan, but I've gone to the UK, Canada, and I love the stories that you were talking about in London because there are so many times, Tony, that they would be talking to me and I'm like, was that English? And it's so true. And the food, awful.
It's awful.
In England,
and
yes, absolutely.
British food
So
is
I love
just...
that
I don't
you
get
just said
that
that.
either.
I know.
I don't
How come
understand.
Steven Starr doesn't open a feta salad over there?
So
he
this
needs
is-
to open a feta
this is
salad
my-
in England.
This is my theory about England, is that they weren't the ones that conquered the Spice Islands. It was the Dutch. And so a lot of the spices, the British didn't really get it first. And
They were taking, the Dutch and the British and the French were taking over every island back in the day.
but the British didn't really, the spices weren't really, and and I mean, I know that this is a generalization, but they don't really care about their mouth in any way. I mean, their teeth
Brits don't care about their mouth?
They don't. They're,
Not a lot of
Why do you
dentists.
watch Downtown Abbey then?
it's a fantastic show.
Good actors, bad teeth. That sums up the British.
But the food, I don't understand. They really, they just don't really care much about the taste buds.
Yeah,
Now, do you
the
like sushi?
I don't love it.
Me neither. I see. I couldn't go to Japan and
I know,
live.
and that's what I'm so nervous about.
I'd have to go to tempura houses every night.
I'm gonna have
There's
to
a
eat
lot of
lots
teriyaki
noodles.
there. They have fantastic steak. Kobe beef
Yeah,
is from.
no doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's great.
No, I can live I'm not a sushi person. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
I'm not either.
I used to call that bait when I grew up.
Yeah.
It's sushi now. It's bait to me.
Right.
Well,
You know?
yeah. Well, growing up Italian,
It's progressed.
That's like what?
No Italians eat. They don't even eat the seven fishes on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you
not
might eat
one of them
4.
is sushi.
Yeah.
Right, so that just tells you something. If Italians are putting out 7 fishes on Christmas Eve and not one single solitary one is sushi, what does that tell you about sushi?
And I feel like I only would eat 4 of those fishes anyway. So
Nothing is
doesn't
raw.
matter.
Do they have any kind of fish that they eat raw, like a ceviche type of a thing? No, nothing.
Italians don't do
No.
ceviche.
There's nothing like that, right?
No, we don't do that stuff.
No.
We don't play
That's
that.
a
That's right.
major bummer.
What is
Don't
wait,
play
so
that.
it's the bacala, the smelts.
Yeah.
the-
But it's all cooked, though.
Yeah, it's all cooked. Yeah.
I mean, there's smoked
Or
stuff.
fried.
And like people eat octopus, and I know I keep hearing, well, if it's salt, if it's cooked right, it's not chewy. Now I eat calamari, and if
It's
it's cooked
calamari.
right, it's not
Yeah.
chewy. Calamari.
Calamari.
With a D, it ends with a D.
Exactly. Galamad.
Well,
See,
that's
now
what I
Joe's
always
got a
thought it
little bit of
was.
his South.
I
he's still
do.
got
I
the
can't get
South
rid of it.
Jersey
Yeah.
accent.
I got my underscore removed, but not my accent. I'm working on that. I need bigger coverage for that.
So when are you going to Japan?
So I leave at the end of the month.
Oh wow! So I'll be going to San
Pretty soon.
Francisco. You're going to Japan.
I love San Francisco.
Yeah,
the
it's big.
best experience I ever had in San Francisco. It's called dining in the dark.
Dining in the
Oh, I've
dark.
heard about this. You like
Coolest thing. Like I would recommend it to anyone.
We'll be doing that this weekend when the power goes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as
Everybody
romantic.
in Jersey and Washington
Exactly,
D.C.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So it is pitch black. You cannot bring your cell phone, no watches that light up.
You're in a
nothing.
restaurant now.
You're in a restaurant.
Is it one restaurant or do different restaurants
It's
do it?
one restaurant.
and they lead you in and
Because
seat
they're-
you because they have like night
They're
vision
blind
glasses or
or
something.
visually
yeah.
impaired in some way.
Okay.
So you have to hold their shoulders and you walk in and they say, okay, you're right by your seat, go ahead. So you try and sit down and you can pick out your food before you go or you can get a surprise menu, which I could never do. I'm not
I
that
could do
brave.
that. I could do that.
But you can't see anything. So by the end of the night, I was eating with my hands because I didn't even care anymore.
Now, were
Like,
you by
nobody's
yourself
seen
or do you have other
No,
people
I was
at
with
the table?
someone else. Yeah.
And so you don't know what you're going to eat. You don't know is there a menu? Do you know what
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
food?
pick it out ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
But
Tony
you
would
can be
have to pick out
surprised.
his food.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
no way that he could
How do
be
you find a
surprised.
bathroom?
You have to say,
They have to lead you to the bathroom? Ah, about that.
Yeah. And we had to open a
Do you have
bottle
to
of
pee in
wine.
the dark too?
Important. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, is it dining in the dark, peeing in the dark? Too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So-
I didn't use the bathroom. 'Cause
I've done
was-
that after a few nights out.
Well,
We can
that
just go
was
out
the
on the
coolest
street like we do
experience.
here.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, wait. So
Behind
so
the
what-
7-Eleven.
Let's just, for an example, what was the menu on this dining?
so
in the
I
dark?
got pasta, obviously.
Of course.
Right.
I got macaroni, and there was something else in it. But let me just tell you, I've never had such amazing macaroni in my life, and I swear it is because my other senses were so much more heightened. And that one wasn't,
Yeah.
like my sight. So it was phenomenal, and it was such a cool experience. You really have to sort of let go, though, because I like to look at my food and kind of, just.
Was it
make
good
sure.
pasta though? Was it good?
That's what I mean. It was so amazing, and I think it was
Hang
that
on a
good. I'm
second.
sorry.
Your necklace is hitting the mic.
I'll
now
just take
over
it
here.
off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's all tangled up.
Wear all
Thank
this
you.
beautiful jewelry and
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
You look great though, Gene. You always look good. She never changed. Looks exactly the same as the day I met her.
You too.
I do?
Yes.
I do?
Both of you, yes.
Tony's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You know?
I know I don't look the same as I did 4 years ago when I moved back here from LA. By the way, I got to rip the city of Philadelphia. It's not my style. But if Mayor, and I know the mayor's listening, Mayor Jim Kenney, our new mayor, has had a couple of issues to deal with. One thing that this city needs more than anything, and I think everybody who lives in Philadelphia can agree, there are no supermarkets in this city. Everything's closed. Pathmark closed down in South Philly. Super Freshes have closed. And in Center City, Philadelphia, where there's a gazillion people living in all these beautiful buildings, there's a Trader Joe's at 22nd and Market Streets. And the Trader Joe's line, just to get into the parking lot, it goes around Market Street, the line of cars. It goes Market Street, turns on 22nd, and then there's a guy directing traffic into the parking lot, waiting for a spot to open, to send you into the spot, to go into this tiny super. And it's a great Trader Joe's. It's a great supermarket, but it's small. Then you go in, and the line to the checkout counters basically goes around
The store twice.
The store. It goes around the store, and there's people.
Twice.
The line ends here, so you follow and the line goes around and around and around and around, all the way around. and it's like 3 days away from us. Rob and I were there Monday when they started talking about.
We're not
We
even getting
walked
close
in
yet.
and we
We
walked
couldn't
right
get
back out.
We couldn't get into the
They're
store.
going to need riot police over there by tomorrow. I know that.
It's going to be
This is
nuts.
an outrage.
It's
We
crazy.
need more supermarkets in this town.
We
People
do.
need food.
Exactly.
Right?
You could have won on that platform, I think.
And you know what?
I'm going to run as the supermarket.
The supermarket czar.
They were supposed to
We
put
need
a
that.
Wegmans in
Now
at
Supermarket
Washington and Broad. That was like a big deal. There's that empty lot where the church used to be, right next to the Performing Arts High School.
St. Teresa's used to be over there, but that's
Yeah.
way old before your guys' time.
And that they had been talked about putting a Wegmans there. It was going to be approved.
I'm going to open a
everything was fine.
supermarket tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get me a damn abandoned warehouse.
You found
I'm
your
gonna
cause,
go-
Tony.
I'll stock my own shelves.
Yes.
I'll work the cash registers.
That's right.
I'll hire some people. I'll put blue collar people to work.
It's good.
No lines in Delaware County.
No lines in Delco.
Or Jersey, because Jersey got there's a Walmart every 2 blocks and a Wawa every 3 blocks.
Yeah, but I mean in Philadelphia.
I agree. No, it's a major
in the
city.
city of Philadelphia,
I
there's
know.
no supermarkets.
Yeah.
You know what that is? It's an outrage.
It is an outrage.
It is an outrage.
So when you leaving for Japan at the end? So that's when we're leaving. The 30th of January is a Saturday. So you're going to, how long are you going to be in Japan?
Until the middle of next week. Well, the following week.
Oh, wow.
Middle, yeah. So I'm there for about a week.
And you'll be selling hair product over there?
Mm-hmm. And it's really cool. There's a translator, so I'll go on and speak English, and then they tell me.
You're going to meet Bill Murray and all and make a movie out of it? And
That would be awesome.
lost in translation?
And
Nobody
you're going to
got
say,
that, forget it. Yeah,
remember,
forget
we
it.
have, Robin and I are good, we're good at
people
Japanese. What are the 2 things you must say, Robin?
Well, you need to know how to say moshi moshi,
Moshi moshi.
which is hello.
Moshi moshi.
Konbanwa, which is good night.
Not Chris
Kumbaya.
Benoit.
Not Benoit. No, Benoit is something else. That's what they sell in the sex shops over there.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
If you want to say something's dangerous, like off, go abunai.
Abunai.
Abunai means like
okay.
danger.
Danger.
And my favorite one, because you just say "don't touch my mustache," is "dostashimashite," which
Dashimashite.
means I think it means.
Why would she say, don't touch my
I know.
mustache?
I'll
No,
make
but
sure
that
I
means
say
Not
you're.
a lot of
I
mustaches in
believe.
Japan, is
It's
there?
kind of a
If I'm
given,
not-
don't you think?
if I'm not
She's Italian, but she doesn't have a mustache.
No, I'm just saying.
Well,
that's
I'm
how
not
I
going back down that
remember-
road. I'm not going back down that road.
That's how I remember how to say it because I think it means you're welcome. Dostashimashite.
And of course, the number 1 word you must say, Robin, which I say all the
He's got a
time.
mustache.
Yes.
Whether it's
Hi.
Japanese,
Yeah.
it's
Hi.
Hi, dozo.
hi, dozo.
Well, I've been watching the footage back, and the entire time the girl just goes, "Hi,
Hi, dozo. Dozo.
So-
And then say, no more sushi. No sushi. No sushi. Bring me fry. Bring me fried fish. Bring me calamari.
No Coke Pepsi.
Calamari fried, deep fried.
No Coke Pepsi.
I only know 1 word. It's apple.
What is it?
Fook.
What?
Fook.
Fook?
I know that word."
Yes.
Fook?
Is apple.
How do you
Fukusan.
spell it?
FUK.
It's F-U-K, but there's like a little thingy on
Yes.
top of the
Little
U.
symbol there.
Now,
That's apple?
Yeah.
Now, there's another thing that's very interesting about Japanese is that a lot of the words are English words that they just put "u" at the end. So, like beer is biru.
Biru. Speaking of beer, I need to open this.
If
It's getting
you,
warm.
Yeah, we can
if
get a
you,
beer over here.
by
Really?
any weird chance in the middle of winter decide to go snorkeling, it's snorkelingu.
Okay.
So it's just very simple. Just put an "u" on
You should
the
take
end.
Robin with
I
you
know.
over there.
Really,
take
yeah.
Robin and
I don't
Personal
need a
translator.
translator.
Yeah, exactly.
Take
she'll
this
eat all the
topic.
sushi, you eat all the fried stuff.
And you can look for a guy with a mustache, which is...
Feta Sal, by the way, is not French. It's
okay.
German. So I got to give myself. to
Dumb-
start off
you're a
my
dumb
second-
cop.
I am a
What's the
dumb
matter
cop.
with
We're talking, we're
Fine,
talking
don't-
Japanese, Italian.
Yes.
I know a little French.
Right.
The Feta Sal, the great restaurant up there that provided the
It's
food for
German?
the night. It's Feta
German.
Sal is German, yes. And Robin knows German.
I know.
So I
Really?
believe that she's the one who should be criticized.
I agree.
I need
Not
to
yours
look it
truly.
up because I do not recognize that.
Just say, I know nothing, I see nothing.
I know
Ich
nothing.
weiß nichts.
You suck.
That too, that's German.
Nein, ich kann Deutsch sprechen und
Robin speaks
Feta
German
ist
and
nicht
Dutch.
Deutsch.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So if anybody should know Feta Sal
Really?
is German, it should be Robin.
That's right.
Right? And
Yeah.
German's a hard language.
All I
yeah.
know is
German and Dutch are really hard
I
languages.
know Danke and Bitte. That's all I know.
Bitte.
Bitte.
That'll get you far.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
2 winter storms, I think.
I'm not going there with you. So anyway, before we bring Ken Cage up here, who brought the great beer
Yes.
from his buddies out there at 2SP Brewery,
I was great out
the
there.
Yacht CL. It's yacht as in boat.
Right.
SEA. That's how it's spelled, right? It's 2 words. Yacht.
C.
Yacht C.
C.
See a yacht.
Right.
So it's yacht SEE.
See a yacht, take a yacht.
Is that German?
Yahtzee, no,
All
that's
right,
a game.
okay.
It's a board game.
All right.
Isn't that Yahtzee a game? And that's what you say whenever you get a high. Well, we'll bring Ken Cage up here in a second. In the meantime, actually bring him up here now. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been sitting, he's
Really,
been
he's gotta
drinking,
save
he's
us.
been eating. He's our good friend. We love him. We love Airplane Repo. 2 seasons in. Will there be a 3rd season? He will release exclusively tonight the news about Airplane Repo, the next season. It's seen all over the world, not just here in the United States. He's a Delco guy. He doesn't just do this as a reality show.
This is real life.
He's not one of the housewives. He's not one of the basketball wives. He's not anybody's wife. So, Ken, good to see you again, buddy.
Thanks, Tony. Good to see you.
Now, Ken, last time we saw you, were out at the brewery, the 2SP Brewery, out there in Aston.
Yep.
And what's that place right across the street? There's a big complex there. There's a movie studio,
yeah,
right?
but it used to be Tri-State Sports. That's where all the kids used to play indoor soccer and all that. Now it's Sun Center Studios.
So they actually film movies and TV shows in there, right?
Yeah, I'm actually friends with the owner, Jeff Rotwit, and he had this vision years ago when Mr. Rendell, the mayor, decided to give tax credits. Actually, he was the governor. He decided to give tax credits if they made films here. So back then, he said, this huge complex, I'm going to turn it into a movie studio. So Will Smith's been there. M. Night Shyamalan's done many movies there. It's a big deal. He took me through it. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it's a big complex. And the 2SP Brewery right across the street, we did the show there on the season finale of Airplane Repo. That was season 2.
Season 3.
That's right. It was season 3.
Yep, we've done 3 seasons.
And I've seen every episode of every season. So now the question is, and people all over the fun thing about having a show on Discovery Channel or a show that's popular is it's all over the world.
Yeah.
Like David Boreanaz is a buddy of ours who's on Bones, and whenever he tweets, like he was tweeting me about the Flyers game last night, talking about how bad they look, and we go back and forth with big hockey guys, and every time he tweets me and I tweet him back, there's like 1,000 women who don't know hockey, don't care, but he's got so many women following him that whenever he tweets something, they immediately retweet it, even though they don't care what he's saying. They just love Bones, and it's people all over the world, women all over the world.
Yeah.
Your show is popular in Britain. It's on everywhere, right?
Yeah, but I still only have Ruined and Luigi ever follow anything I say.
Exactly. That's it? They only retweet you?
They're the only two. Ruined,
No, but I see
whatever
tweets
he's
like...
They're not
doing
easy
now.
on the eyes.
I see tweets, hey, I'm watching Airplane Repo in the UK, season 2, great stuff. So how many countries is the show on?
As far as I know, every single one. I mean, we had a friend of ours that was traveling to Dubai.
Really?
Gets in his hotel room, turns it on, and there's me speaking whatever language that is. It's
Have you
on in
seen
Germany
Gina
now.
Gannon promoting When in Dubai when you were over there?
I have not. I was wondering, though, if I touch your leg like she did.
I know, yeah, that
Will
was
you
a
let
little-
me do that?
Wait, you were touching Joe's leg?
Yeah, you did. That's all
Yeah.
right. That's when we got that feedback because I was
Yeah.
my temperature went through the roof. Yeah, that's all right.
I'll calm it down.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Yeah,
it's chilly.
Gee, Gina, you didn't touch me. Sheepers.
I was accidental. Trust me.
Yep.
And you've been doing high-end repossessions for a long, long time. So this isn't just something that started with a reality show.
No, we bought the company in 2005. Then we ran into, on a flight, a producer from Inside Edition who loved the idea. Next day, they're filming us. That got us on the front cover of the Wall Street Journal. I mean, front page, me, some schmo, with a dot picture on the Wall Street Journal. And from that, it just went nuts. Discovery, at the end of the day, decided they wanted to do the show. They called us.
And the show is about, for the people who know, you actually go out, you have insurance companies really are your clients, right?
Banks, mostly.
I mean, banks.
And insurance companies. We love the insurance people.
Well, I love the insurance people, too.
That's one of our clients is here with us tonight. Because we have realized the Tony Bruno show is great for doing business as well.
No doubt about it. You're gonna repossess the set, I hear, afterwards.
Exactly. We didn't want to tell you that.
So we only have it for 24 hours.
You're going to repossess our microphones, which we've had a lot of problems
You know
with.
what they say, Tone? Keep your enemies
3 bottles
close and
of
your
wine.
repo man closer, brother.
Exactly right. So now, when you go out there, I mean, people will realize this is dangerous business.
Yeah.
I know you see the camera crews, and some of the scenes are recreated, obviously, because it's dangerous stuff. But you go out there, and you don't know what's going to happen, because an insurance company will call you, a bank will call you and say, this guy owes so much, he's 6 months behind on his payments. He bought a yacht that's worth $5 million. We're going to go get it from him. Just like a poor schleb who doesn't make payments on his car, his 68 Dodge Dart, somebody repossessed that. But you go out there and get the big toys, right?
Yeah, last week we were on the border of Mexico. Basically right there. Half the boat was in Mexico, half was in Texas. It was a 40-foot sailboat.
So did you cut it in half? What'd you do?
No, we stole it, brought it back the other 20 feet back into the States.
As long as they get on the U.S. side. And
Was El Guapo down there taking care of business or what?
Sean Penn was still there.
El Chapo?
Exactly. It's funny, when Sean Penn needed a ride, he turned into Coley again.
That's the only way he could get back in.
Not cool, dude.
What's your jacket made of?
Ken Cage, you can follow him on Twitter at Ken Cage Repo, right?
That's right,
At
Twitter.
Now, Danny's still involved with you, right? Is he
Oh,
still?
yeah.
Now, is he only on the television part, or does he come out with you on regular repos too?
On the big, really dangerous ones, I still ask him to come, but he's got his own auto business. He's running.
He lives in North Carolina, right?
Now, did you know him before you started doing? So that you were hooked up because of the show.
Well, I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, they knew that we needed because I've always taken someone else with some security background on the big cases, and Bob has too. So it's like we got to look out for each other. So the guy we had to let go for a lot of reasons, and they knew I was looking for somebody. They bring him out. We go, oh, we got a great guy for it. He's awesome. You'll love him. As soon as I hired him, I'm like, yeah, he'll work. He'll be fine. Yeah, no problem. And they mic him up. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, he's on the show now. I'm like, dude, really? Like, you just brought him out here for the show? Well, yeah, but he's going to work for you now, right? So he's done some cases with us.
He's great, though. He's great.
Real quick, I have a quick question. Ken, a lot of people know that repo men, sometimes they face some people that don't want to give up their stuff so easy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
that would be like everybody who was
right.
getting
But we've seen obviously what happens on the show. But outside of the show, what is literally the scariest encounter you've had on a repo?
It's hard to say. I mean,
you've been shot at, right?
Yeah, we've been chased all over in all kinds of ways. I mean, one of the stories I like to tell the most, I mean, we've been chased down the St. John River in Jacksonville by a Cuban national.
Wow.
But what was really cool, talk about the total stereotype, we were in Jersey picking up a flight school, so several aircraft, and a guy, the manager was a 70-year-old Italian guy. He's chasing us down the runway in his white caddy. I'm like, could this be any more stereotypical?
My boy's a good boy, don't bother nobody.
Yeah, did he have the red horn?
Yeah,
Did he have the
was
red
a
Italian horn hanging under the rearview mirror?
He was playing Follicula.
Yeah. Was he wearing Drakkar at the time?
Was he wearing Drakkar Noir?
I gotta get home to the 7:50.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I think for me,
3 of which I'll eat.
I think for me the most visually impressive, and I know that part of it was recreated, but part of it was you guys were actually getting this from the inside filming, was when you guys were down in Florida and it was a drug, but like you had repossessed an airplane that was under investigation for running drugs, and when you landed, the government was there, and you all had little red dots on your laser dots on your heads.
That was intense. That was in the West Coast. We picked up in Arizona. We landed in California, and there were authorities waiting for us there. And honestly, we didn't know, because when we got in the air, we realized it had been doing all its flying between Nicaragua, Venezuela, those kind of countries back to the U.S. We're like, oh, geez, this is great. And I'm asking Danny, did you check the compartments to see if there's anything there? And he's like, oh, I totally forgot. Well, that's awesome to know. So when we landed and all the red lasers were coming in, we really thought it was the bad guys. That's why I freaked out. If you notice, I charged Danny to go after the pilot and everything because I thought he had called us to the debtors, and I thought it was the bad guys. When we saw the flashing blue and red light, we're like, oh, thank God. I mean, the police we have no problems with because we do everything legally. So, yeah, we've never even come close to being arrested or anything like that. We see the lights, we're like, awesome, we're in good shape.
So 2 questions. Were there still drugs on board?
Negative, not that I know of. They didn't tell us there were.
But you lost that repo, right? They took it away from you.
That happens on occasion. That's happened 2 or 3 times.
They compensate you for, expenses at least?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're never out of pocket. If we get something, we get paid for it.
Okay.
We just didn't get to sell that one.
Because like in a pawn shop, does that work the same way too? Like if they buy something that's stolen and they have to give that back, is the pawn shop out of that money?
They have to be out of it because there's nobody that they got hired by to purchase that item.
Right.
Whereas we were hired by someone to do that work. We completed the work, so we at least get paid for that part of it. And then at that point, I mean, they acted like they were pissed at us at the time, but in all honesty, we helped them out because we were able to deliver the plane to them.
Okay.
So,
Here's our update from Miss Robin on somebody really helping somebody out
Correct.
in a tough situation.
Yes.
Involving a lock and key, like our
It
box,
was.
by the way. Yes.
Dateline Padua, Italy. This weekend.
You know it's from Padua, right? It's Padua, actually.
Padua,
You know it's from there, right?
But in the United States, it's Padua. In
But
Italy,
who was the most
Padua.
famous person from St. Anthony is the correct answer.
Very
St.
good.
Anthony of Padua, my patron saint.
There you go.
I was named after St. Anthony
Saint
of Padua
Anthony.
because I was born on June 13th.
Do you pray to him when you lose stuff?
Absolutely, every day.
I do that too.
I am
Every day
sure.
Except he can't bring my mind back, unfortunately.
Every time I leave the track, Tony. Every
I
time
am
I leave the track.
sure
Girls from
that
Padua.
if
Does that count?
Was that?
We've dated girls from Padua.
Really?
There you go.
Really?
I wonder if this was one of the
This is probably one of the girls you
girls you dated.
Let's go back to our
It sounds
update
like
and Miss
it
Robin
already.
already in progress.
This weekend, a woman whose name has not been released showed up at her local fire station asking for help, but it was probably more like per favore, aiutatemi. How do you pronounce that? Aiutate.
Wait a minute.
Bhutan?
No,
Bhutan.
not Bhutan. Can you help me out?
Faccio
I know.
Apoyuda.
Appoiutarmi.
I was trying-
Appoiutarmi.
There you go.
Appoiutarmi.
Aiutatemi.
Exactly.
There we go.
Abbondanza. Remember Abbondanza?
Sounded like
She writes it down. I don't understand it, but then I know
Mama
exactly.
Mudand.
I can do the per favore.
Who
That's
can't?
good.
Get
do
back
that
to the
one.
stinking update, Robin.
Jesus.
Continue in
She
English.
needed help desperately because she had lost her keys.
Right.
To what, you might ask, that she could need such desperate help? She was wearing a chastity belt. One of those old-fashioned medieval
What's this,
contraptions.
1720?
No, this is like last week.
Yes. She
Really,
recently
it's a really
cost,
ancient town in Italy.
and would the firefighters be oh so kind and help her remove it?
Yeah, it's a pattern. They still sell chastity belts, you know.
I
Now-
can pick a lock if she needs help. I'm just saying.
The thing that I find so funny, so the firefighters at first, they suspected like some kind of sexual violence or something like that, but the woman explained that she wore the belt to prevent herself from entering sexual relationships. She
wasn't a Kardashian then, basically.
Yeah,
I was
exactly,
expecting.
right.
She only came to the
They don't wear any
firefighters because she wanted to take it off and had run out of options. So does that mean that she was no longer interested in preventing herself?
No,
from-
she saw a firefighter calendar with all the beefcake guys
that's
and said,
right. They have
hey,
them in Italy?
if I'm going to give myself up, it's going to be with a
right.
hunky fireman.
Really? She got
The guy had a big hose in the... Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
right. Thank you.
See now
Zambala Bopa Manaden.
most people think that the belts, the chastity belts, were to protect women from sexual assault. Oh no! The medieval, they were horrible people. These men.
Yeah,
that
they
came
went
up with these-
medieval on everybody.
No, but you know what the chastity belts were actually used for?
What?
They were used to prevent women from masturbating.
What?
Yes, that's just cruel and unusual punishment.
They were?
Yes.
Who knew?
I know. It's sad.
So so what happened?
No, the
Nothing.
report
Did they
says
get out an axe?
Nothing happened. That's the problem.
firefighters-
Did they pick the block or did they get an axe?
Call a
Oh,
locksmith.
that thing off.
Call a locksmith.
The firefighters, although they were initially quite stunned, were more than happy to help her break the law.
They prayed to
Were
St.
they?
Anthony and it opened.
Yes. There you go. There you have it.
And on that story, there's actually an ad. Do they sell them on eBay?
I don't know. There is an ad for a Miller Universal Revolution welder's harness with removable belt.
No, I got a Home Depot.
Yeah.
For a
I
mere
got a coupon for that.
$312, you too can own a modern chastity belt.
I've
They
never
still
paid that much
sell
for
them.
sex.
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
I did not know that. Anybody here need a chastity belt?
Yes. Anybody?
You don't got to pay me that much to keep
Look
you out of
under your
pants.
seat now.
It'll be the big gift next year.
Wow. And you get a chastity belt, and you get a chastity
Comes
belt.
with a free bottle of Wen.
Replace the Phillies T-shirt.
Wow.
You know, that's
Something.
crazy. It's almost about as crazy as the stuff that happens in Florida.
Are we going to
Yes.
do a Florida update?
Yeah, we have time.
Are we going to have two updates in a row?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Back-to-back updates.
Dr. Segway.
We're getting near the end of the show, so you can tell it's time for Robin to do
It's called filler, man.
her... No, we're not filling.
There's no filler in this show. Are you kidding?
This is the place where Ken Cage goes so very often.
Going there Monday.
A lot of good repos down there, a lot of boats. And more boats and planes down there.
Boats.
Boats.
And no chastity belt.
And no chastity
definitely
belts.
not.
Just hose, man.
Exactly right. And now let's go down to Robin for her weekly...
Which one should I do? I have two of them.
They're both good.
I know.
Do the guy with the mop. Yeah, I like that one.
Dateline, Lake County, Florida.
You've been to Lake County, huh?
I've
A
reposted
very
that.
fine, upstanding man was arrested last week for battery against his wife after he allegedly used her head as a human mop. You know, sometimes
What?
you just don't have a mop handy.
Right.
You don't have a Swiffer?
And I know that my hair sometimes looks like a mop, but apparently he decided that he was angry with his wife, who is not being identified, although Keith Davison, 46, has his picture up there, so I don't
He
know
looks
if you
like
can
such an
figure it out.
upstanding guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks like a regular member of society.
I mean, if you look at
Yeah,
state of Florida, That's the picture of every guy in the state of Florida.
Basically, yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
And he's
So-
like 16.
And I'm sure you can figure it out who his wife is. But when I went to go grab the peanut butter, I hit the cup of milk. Oh no! And the cup of milk fell on the floor.
This is a quote from his wife?
From his wife.
Yes.
Said that at that point, Davidson, her husband, grabbed her and used her head to mop up the mess.
Did he dry it off at least? Did he dry the floor?
She said
If it's
that
good for
Did he
her
use
hair.
less oil? What did he use?
Less oil.
Mr. Clean. That's terrible.
But
That is
now
bad.
get this. So he's used me as a dish mop. Not the first, not the second. This was the third time, but I can take it no more, she said.
Oh,
Why
put
didn't
up
she go to
with it twice?
Walmart and buy him a steak and
Really?
mop?
She put up with it twice?
3 times.
Isn't
that
there
was
a
the
3 strikes you're
third.
out rule for using your wife as a mop in Florida?
Yes.
No, he fouled it off a couple times.
Really?
That's
Damn,
ridiculous.
Did
I
you,
think-
did you repo his mop?
That
Has that
damn
happened?
governor.
Ken Cage, a big sports fan. First of all, I didn't ask you about Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz, and Frank Reich, the 3 big coaching hires.
Doug Peterson put me to sleep like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jim Schwartz. That can only help. I mean,
I
the strength
agree.
of your team.
Except, everybody's worried about the wide 9 again from a few years ago, and he didn't actually say. He said he's a scheme. He's a scheme guy. It depends on the personnel. So because of the wide 9 debacle a few years ago here, with that mess with the Eagles defense back when they were really, really bad.
Are we going to compare an offensive line coach running in the defense
No,
with
absolutely
a real
not.
defensive coordinator?
No, this guy's a defensive coordinator.
Right.
He can run a 4-3 or a 3-4, he said. And so he's a system guy.
Right.
So he'll look at what he has, and then he'll determine what the best fits are to do that. Because we heard Brandon Graham wasn't a 3-4 guy, and then he played okay in a 3-4. To me, players are players.
Right.
To suggest that a guy can't play a 4-3 because he's a 3-4 linebacker is ridiculous.
That's dumb.
Players play.
Right.
The difference, obviously, is you have 4 guys on the line of scrimmage. You have more of a better opportunity for a pass rush. So you've got guys on the outside who can hopefully go around and get to the quarterback. So I'm not upset. I know people think the Eagles didn't interview a bunch of guys, but they had a list. They narrowed it down, and we'll see whether Doug Peterson could be a fine coach or he could be a bust. We don't know. Does
like Jim
anybody
Schwartz.
know that Doug Peterson's going to be a failure as a head coach in the NFL?
Nope.
Absolutely
Not at all.
For you.
We want to thank everybody. Of course, we got to start off with the great food tonight and our great friends over at Feta Sal up there in the great Fishtown section of Philly. They got the big Super Bowl party coming up. They'll cater it. They got a great happy hour. Go up there and check it out. Go to their website, Fetasal, FETTESAU, Philly.com. Check the place out next to Frankfurt Hall, Steven Star Restaurant, and a great whiskey bar, the best in the city. Chris Clifton, the manager, and Bridget Carlson, one of the sous chefs, thank them for bringing all the great food out tonight. Our good friend Gina Gannon, who was out here tonight. You can follow her all over the world. Follow her on Twitter, on Instagram, and on When. She's a When girl. When? Anytime. She's on 24/7. And, of course, our great friend Ken Cage from Airplane Repo at IRC. Let's thank our buddy Luigi Curto up in the booth. Follow him at Luigi Curto 22. Natalie Eganoff up there does a great job and helps us immensely. Miss Robin Austin on Twitter, at Tony Bruno Show. Jay Corrado 19. You got to follow him. He is a must follow. And everybody else, and Philly PR Girl, follow her. Philly_PR Girl. You got to get rid of the underscore,
I did.
Katie.
Surgically removed.
You got to surgically have a procedure for that. It's
I'll walk you through
non-invasive.
it, all right?
You can get it removed.
Exactly.
Philly PR
Really
Girl.
fast recovery.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is.
And all the great people who came out here tonight, and all the people listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, and of course, Mr. Nathaniel Dotson, our
Yes.
videographer
Man
at
behind the scenes.
TutVid. You can watch his great work on YouTube and go to tutvid.com with all of his great stuff on how to do everything there is in video.
And we're excited because we're going to start doing some more man on the street videos with him. So.
Exactly right.
nice.
Wait, not unless there's snow.
Yeah.
We will
Right.
not go out. in
We
the
will not be
snow.
doing Man in the Gym with Luigi either.
No,
We won't
we
be
will
doing
not.
that.
No, we will not.
That would make money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Listen, if we need it, I'll do it. You know how it is.
$20, I'll do it.
That's right.
In the meantime, don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, and God bless America. It's a beautiful country. We'll see you next week, everybody.